Hey, Alex from Blocks here. So you've installed your Blocks design kit and you're ready to start customizing. One of the main things you're going to want to customize first is your Fluent Forms, is your forms on your website. We're going to use CoolPod as an example here, and if you open up CoolPod, you'll see that there's a couple of forms. One is this main subscribe form that's at the top of the page, and you've got the same subscribe form here at the bottom of the page. You've also got it on the Get Updates page here. You can see that they're styled differently. This is done within Elementor, and we'll get to that in 1 second. But as far as like adding fields or making this more complex, you can do this very easily. So for example, what if you wanted a first name field here? So you had 3 fields going across. Very easy. So Fluent Forms comes default with 2 forms. You have the contact form demo and the subscription form. We're using the subscription form for this, so it automatically loads in. And for any kind of contact form sign up type thing, we would be using the contact form demo. So let's go ahead into edit into the subscription form. And we're going to see that it's a 2-column layout and it's set up this way. If we wanted to add a first name, we need to add another column and we need to add first name. So let's go ahead and do that. First off, we're going to want to go to container. Okay, so that's how you can get different containers with different column widths. Okay, and you can go up to a 6-column container with Fluent Forms, which is pretty unique. So let's go ahead and throw in our and you can see it's very drag and drop. So let's throw our 3-column container here. Now what we can do is grab the modules and we can drag them into these columns to make it super easy. So like this, and then we can go back to general fields up here and we can grab a simple text field and we can go ahead and drag that here. Now we can go here, we can edit this, and we can hide the label like we're doing with the other ones here. So hiding the label, so if you did it like this, it would say first name at the top, or you can do it at the right or the left or the bottom. There's all kinds of ways to do this, but I'm going to hide the label and I'm going to go ahead and make this say first name. And this is just really for our internal purposes here. Let's call this first name. And this is the placeholder. So as you can see with these other fields, we're going to put the placeholder so they know what to put there. Your first name. Okay. Now we're going to make this required. And we're going to come down here to advanced options. We have a default value, help, message, all of these kinds of things. But all we're really going to do here is change the name attribute to first name, or even just name. So that is perfect. So we're all good to go. This should look great. I'm going to go ahead and delete this other column layout since we replaced it with the 3-column, and go ahead and go up here and click Save Form. Now when we reload our website, we are going to see that first name is in there and it's perfectly uniform. Everything is in here and it looks great. Same here on this form. Same here down here on this form. Okay, so this is awesome, and you can basically you can add all kinds of stuff. Like when this is a very simple form, but if you wanted to do things like a country list, an address field where it autofills the address, website URL. You also have advanced like GDPR agreement and all kinds of fun stuff. Okay, so you can do a lot with this. Okay, that looks great. So let's go over to settings and integrations just so I can give you a quick tour of that, because that's kind of your next step. If basically you want to tell the form builder what you want to happen when they fill the form out. Do you want them to stay on the same page and just say thanks for your message and give them like a little message that kind of pops up underneath here? Do you want to redirect them to a page on the site here? Do you want to send them to a custom URL? Okay, so all these are possible, and you can put a redirection message on the to a page or to the custom URL as well. So you can say, hold tight, we're redirecting, and kind of while it's loading, it displays that. So you click this, it says, hey, we're redirecting, boom, goes to your page. So lots of ways to do that. I'm going to leave it like this for now, but you got a lot of different ways to do this. You can also make it so that after the form submission, okay, so like for instance, yeah, only on the same page one, you can hide the form. So once they fill it out, it just hides. It just takes that form away completely and only displays this message where the form used to be. You can also reset the form, which I think for like something like this, it would be better. It would just display the message real quick, and it would just take the fields back to this, from what you had filled out. So I think these are very clever ways to do that. It's a great way to do that. You've got kind of like overall styles and things like this here, so you can do the asterisk or the whatever, all this different stuff. We're hiding labels, so you're not seeing the asterisk for the required fields, so we're not seeing that at all, but yeah, you don't really need to worry about that unless you have the labels showing, but there's all kinds of ways to do this. Again, to the error message where you want that to show up. You can have a maximum number of entries. You can schedule the form. You can require the user to be logged in, which is really cool. You can also deny empty submissions and things like this. So this is all just really helpful stuff. And you can create surveys with this. So there's all kinds of ways to do this. That's only available in the Pro version, but yeah, there's a lot you can do with just the behavior. Also, you have email notifications. So here you can notify someone that the form has been filled out. Super helpful and easy. You have other confirmations, which is like, yeah, this is a Pro add-on, so if you have the Pro version, you can use that. You also have marketing and CRM integrations. So if you want to configure the modules of that, you end up in the integration modules. You have things like MailChimp, Slack, PayPal, Stripe, all these things, okay? And these are all Pro, the rest of these, but just for the basic like MailChimp and Slack, it's free. You also can do a PDF module so that you get a PDF of the submissions that come through. So really, really cool stuff. All of this is awesome. Okay, so let's go to the front end now, and let's go to this page, for example. I really like how the padding on these is a little bit bigger and a little more robust, and this one's a little bit smaller, kind of harder to see. So let's go ahead and change that, and I'll just show you guys how to like style your Fluent form on the front end with Elementor. So we're going to load up Elementor. Okay, so here's our form. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Now, as you can see, I already added some styles here. I put some padding. It already had some padding for some reason, so I kind of like left that blank, but I put some padding in the background so it kind of beef it up a bit. And then I went to background down here, and I made the background kind of this lighter blue so that it kind of stood out on the white background, created it like a little module. I think we also added a bit of border radius, so it's a little curved, which you can see there. It's a little subtle, but it's curved. So that's a really cool treatment that you can use. And again, this is only styling this one. So like this one is different. You can have different instances of the same form on the same page. So if you click on this, let's go ahead over here. So first of all, you choose your Fluent form. And you can do a couple of customizations here. You can put your error messages. And then you can come down here. So this is where you start to style the form. So you've got all kinds of things. As you can see, I didn't even touch any of this. This is the form container. If we come down here, what we want to affect right here is the input and text area. Okay, so I'm going to come down here, and I'm okay with the text color and all that stuff. But what I would like to do is add some padding in there so it gets a little more robust. And as you can see, I just put 14 in there, and we went from that to that. Okay. I haven't seen many form builders besides the Elementor form builder, which is fairly limited, that can do this level of customization so easily. So go ahead and put 14 in there. We're looking good. We also have this, as you can see, that got rid of that bottom padding. So actually I can come up here and make this consistent across all, which is great. So yeah, keep in mind with the input, there is this like spacing option, which puts some spacing on the bottom. Okay. And now let's go to the, as you can see, we got the input fields, great, but the submit button is still kind of funky. So let's go to the submit button down here. So you've got all your different types of form fields. And we've got our, primary color in here. So it's affected that. We can also do a hover color if we'd like to, like this, which I always like to do. So like now it's very, very robust, and looks awesome. So that's another way we can do that. And then let's see where we go here. So now we want to do the same padding in here. So we'll go ahead and put, go ahead and put 14. Okay, as you can see, it's a little bit, it looks pretty good. Actually, no, it's lined up perfectly. So that, very easy. It's the same padding that we put in the input. The other thing that I noticed is that the text should be beefed up a little bit on the submit button. So I'm gonna go to typography settings, and I'm gonna change the weight, and I'm gonna make the weight a little bit bold or something like this. Okay, so that just stands out, from the rest of the page and kind of creates a bit of contrast there. So I think that looks fantastic. And this is a very handsome layout for newsletter sign up now. I think we've got a great layout going. Can come over here. I can even add a little more padding, I think, inside of here and make it a little bit more like stand out even more like that. So now it's really a module, and it also created kind of like the gaps are a little bit more even now. So this looks fantastic. I'm really happy with this. I'm going to go ahead and update this. And then we can go over here to the preview. Voila. Looks awesome. So I'm even going to do one more edit before I go here. I have this review widget. I'm going to go ahead and add a bit of margin, maybe a little less than that, so that it's a little more spaced out from the form and doesn't distract from the form too much. Let's see how that looks like. Yeah, that's much better. So I'm gonna go ahead and update that. Now when I update that, it auto updates over here and it reloads, and we can see that this looks fantastic. This is awesome. And they fill it out. You can redirect them to a page where they get more stuff. This is super awesome. So I hope this was helpful. That's how to create and customize and style your Fluent Forms in your blocks templates. As always, you can reach out if you have any questions, comment on this video, get in touch with support, hi@blocks.co with 2 S's like this. Thank you so much for watching.